What was the biggest lever that you pulled to go from 10 to 25, now projecting 30 this month?
100% sales. I jumped from 10K to 24K in a month. When you start closing for the first time, it's like I'm craving more sales calls.
So, Noah, what's going on, my friend? How you doing today?
Not much, I'm very good.
Good, good. Well, I want to start off by just giving everyone an introduction to yourself. I definitely want to dive into your story, the market you're in, how you've seen success as well with you being in Launch and Land, and what the biggest levers were in it that allowed you to get there. So, if you can just give everyone an overall intro on who you are, how old you are, what business you run, and where you're at now, that would be splendid.
Yes, sir. So my name is Noah. I run a marketing agency for roofing companies in the US. So I'm actually from Germany, and I kind of like work with US clients. Started this about, I want to say like 2 years ago, but I just transitioned into roofing like more or less beginning of this year. And I'm 20 years old. I just turned 20 like 2-3 weeks ago. So pretty young, but yeah. I've been in it, and like recently when it comes to where I'm at right now, I was kind of like stuck at, I want to say like around 10K a month for a while. Like it took me probably longer than it would take most people to get there, but then I was kind of like stuck at that range for a couple months, like 4 or 5 months. And I joined this program I think 3 months ago or something, and
you were actually one of the first people in it.
Yeah, I think like 3 months ago or something, because I heard some good things from other people that I know. I think they're already in license and scale. But I joined, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there. I mean, obviously, to be frank, like when I joined, like there's at all times like just stuff that gets added to it. Like there's, it's still in the build out phase. I feel like there's so much that's like shifting and resources getting added and stuff like that. So it's just getting better and better. But even then, like I think like for me, like I pretty much, so right now, by the way, last month I did 24K. This month I'm projected to do at least 30K, and I'm gonna hit 50K by the end of the year, like either in the next 2 to 3 months here. So that's the goal. And yeah, I mean, this program helped a lot.
Yeah, so you was at 10.
Yeah.
Took you a while to get up there, and then obviously you joined. You're now at like 24, projecting 30K this month. What do you think, just for the people that were how long was you at that 10K range for?
I think 5 months.
5 months, got you. What do you think, because 5 months is a long time in the agency world. In normal business, no, but like in the agency world, it's a very fucking long time, because people go from 0 to 100 light speed, and then they churn out a bunch of clients and shit goes wrong. But the point I'm trying to make is, you were stuck there for 5 months. What do you think the biggest thing, not even program related, but in general, what was the biggest lever that you pulled to go from 10 to 25, now projecting 30 this month?
100% sales. Like getting better at sales. So I actually also, like, apart from this, I got like another sales coach and stuff, but also the sales resources in the program helped a lot. And honestly, just practicing. Like, you got to have people around you that you can do role plays with, and you got to get the reps in, because I was like, for some context, I got an organic side. Like, I got a YouTube channel, and I was getting like calls from that. That's how I got to 10K, I would say, because you get like warm inbound leads, and those are easy to close. Like, you don't need any skills. You close people, and that's how I got to 10. But then in order for me to scale above 10, like, you gotta have consistency. Like, you gotta know, okay, like, have a system like paid ads where you can put $1 in and get, $3 out, for an example, like, just to be able to like scale past that range and not have it like all be kind of like random. And for me, it was like a big thing to just learn sales, because before that I wasn't closing anything from B2B ads. I mean, I was, but not like really not at a point where it was like predictable, where I could say, like, I was getting leads and book calls, and I used to say like, I don't know, the quality is not good and stuff like that. But I mean, you start to realize that it's just like everything usually comes down to like just a sales issue. Like, I mean, if you can just get your close rate up to, I don't know, 20, even 20%. Like, I think right now mine is at like 35%. To be fair, I do like a 2-call close process, but it changed everything. Because now, like, I think looking at last month, I did like a big portion of what I did was from paid ads. And it was like the first month where I actually started closing, from paid ads a good amount. And I jumped from 10K to 24K in a month. In August, I did 10K. In September, I did 24. So it's just all.
And when you were at 10 for the 5 months, was you running ads then as well, or was that all organic?
No, I was running ads too, but just at a much lower. Actually, not even like I was running ads at the same rate. Like, I think like a bit more than $50 a day. But I just wasn't I wasn't comfortable scaling it, because I knew that I just didn't have the sales abilities. Like, I had the calls. Like, it wasn't like, I was at a point where it's profitable and I got so many calls. So let me take the next step. Like, it was more like I wasn't comfortable doubling the budget or tripling the budget, even though I could have. Like I had the budget in my bank account, I just didn't want to because it's just a mental thing, you know. Like if you don't feel like you're good at closing, you don't. It's also like I know I'm kind of like going a bit on a tangent right here, but I think it's also a mental thing. Like you start gaining momentum. Like when you start closing for the first time, it's like I'm craving more sales calls. Before that, I used to be like almost nervous about sales calls, and I think subconsciously you're trying to have less sales calls because you know that you're bad at it, like you suck. So like this,
it's so true.
Been like
it's true.
Thing.
Like it's kind of like pushing a fucking boulder up a hill. When you first start, you're naturally going to be shit, and a lot of people delay the inevitable, which is you've got to take those first 50 calls and know full well that the first 10, 20, 30 you're going to be shit. You're going to have no idea what you're doing, and then over time you just develop the skill, right? Because when you first launched ads, your close rate might have been 5-10%, and you might have thought, fuck, I'm going to turn this off, it's not working. But the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding, right? When you face the difficult thing like you've done, close rate's consistent now, you can now probably put $1 into ads, consistently get $3, $4, $5 out, and just reinvest back into the machine.
And also, like, it gets a lot easier when it's, like, when you're good at something, it makes fun. Like, it's...
Yeah.
You know, it's fun to up on sale. Maybe not necessarily fun, but, you know, it's, like, a lot easier. Like, I want to get more calls, I want to scale. I'm a lot less miserable taking sales calls.
Yeah. It is miserable initially. When you don't know what you're doing, when you're not closing, it fucks with your morale. But that's like the valley of despair, right, as Hormozi calls it. Where in order to launch ads profitably, where you might be used to organic leads, already know you, like you, trust you, usually easier to close. You go to paid, which you need to do to have a predictable and scalable acquisition channel. And if you don't learn how to crack that, eventually you're going to have to anyway. So it's better to face it now than later down the line and kick the can down the road. So on the ad side, was it last month where you went from the 10 to the 25 in September?
Yes. Last month I did 24, the month before I did 10.
And how much did you spend on ads? And how much new cash did you generate?
New cash was actually... So my MRR was pretty consistent at 10, so new cash was like around 13, 14. To be fair, chunk from that came from organic too. So I recommend, like, it's just like a side thing. I recommend anyone in the agency game to try to build like a brand and go the organic route, because I mean CAC is zero. Like, you know, it's just your time that you're putting in initially, but I got a good amount last month from that. And then also, like, I would say probably more than half of what I closed, like the 13-14k new cash, came from ads. I think I spent actually not that much, like three grand. Like this month I'm spending a lot more. I was just on like $100 a day or something, and this month, like I said, I looked at the numbers last month, you know, I want to scale, so bumped it up to 170, 180 right away. And now looking to up it to like 250 a day, but I'm just trying to like hire a setter first to be efficient with it. Yeah,
I know we were just having a conversation about that, right? You're at a point now where there's maybe too much volume, where your availability is a constraint. You have the setter there as the gatekeeper to prevent unqualified people from getting on the counter. But when you're putting $1 in, getting $2 out, you just fucking put more money in the machine, right? It's a predictable lottery. But the thing, what I've observed as well, which you've kind of got through that stage now, is that valley of despair when you launch ads and you're breaking even, or you're not making any money when you're validating your offer, your process, your sales ability, cracking lead quality as well, which all these pitfalls that people fall into. Once you've got it, like I would say, like launching ads kind of like having a baby. Where it's like you have the baby, you got to wipe its ass and things like that when it first comes out, you got to feed it. Then it grows into a teenager, an adult, and then you just put more money into it. And you can make more money out of it. And then it gets really fun. But you've got to go through that stage, regardless of if you're launching a new offer, a new niche, in order to get to that point. People just aren't willing to do the work it takes, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing that everybody's preaching to their own clients. Like if I onboard a client, like, and it's not going good in the first month and they're losing money, like you're telling them that, you know, like it takes time to warm up, you got to test, it's about like investing and then having the payoff afterwards, and you just got to, like, those things that you're telling your clients, you got to apply them yourself.
And I'm happy you mentioned the organic thing, by the way, because that's something that not a lot of people talk about in the agency game, and it is very important. I actually wish that I doubled down more on organic. Now I'm realizing how fucking powerful it is. Yeah. Like with this brand as an example, people will watch this and end up buying my program and things like that. They know you, they like you, they trust you. There is so many benefits that come from organic, and it's all $0 acquisition cost. And you can nurture the paid leads with the organic too.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, that gives me the flexibility. Like, even if my B2B ads like start to tank and I lose money on that, I get money from organic for free essentially. So and it's just getting better. Like it's just compounding. Like you invest time, and then at one point it becomes like you don't even have to post a lot anymore. It's just like you can calculate, and like every month, you get a certain amount back from it.
It's like digital real estate, right? It's like you plant a tree. That tree may not give you the fruits of its labor right away. It has to grow, it has to develop, but you might have people coming from that months down the line, and you can leverage that. I'll tell you one thing as well that you should do, which I don't know if you're doing this. You have and give your setter a sales assets document. So you have a document that you give to them with all of your videos. Say they have an intro call with a lead, and they say they're struggling with lead quality. They've been scammed in the past. They've been burnt by another agency. You have YouTube videos orientated to overcome those objections that you can send to them.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I work with roofing contractors. Like a lot of them are not like, I think there are even like industries. Like if you're in like fucking real estate or something, you would crush it if you run a YouTube channel, because those guys are all over YouTube. Like, and roofing is like one of the examples. Like you don't know a lot of roofers on YouTube, and it's still working. Like there's no excuse. Like no matter what you do in business or who you're going after, like it's always worth it.
100%. Organic is kind of like the fuel on the fire, because not only does it help you with the pay to nurture, it's a new acquisition channel as well, so it's a win-win. And now we're going into this big trust recession, because so many people are getting into like selling AI and running ads. The people that are going to win are the people that have the most digital real estate, the people that can be trusted the most, which ultimately means, just running image ads isn't really going to cut it anymore, especially if you don't have any organic and things like that. Yeah. But cool, man. And I guess if we were to wrap up here with the biggest takeaways that you've observed, number one, let's just go with in general. If you were speaking to somebody that was at, 0 to 10K a month right now, what could you wish you would have told your former self 5 months ago that would have allowed you to get here quicker? What do you think that thing would be that you would tell him?
I think from 10 to 24 or from 0 to 10?
Let's do both. What would you tell both?
Okay. 0 to 10, it's so much easier than a lot of people think. It's just a mindset game. You just got to work. Like, honestly, I think there's not that much. Like, if you're in a program like this, like the base program that you offer, you got everything that you need to go from 0 to 10 and a trillion times more. Like, you don't need all that. You just need to book appointments, close appointments, and that's it. It's so simple. Yeah. You just gotta put in the works and the reps, and don't overthink it. And from 10 to 24 so far, it's similar. Like, I think it's still at this stage. I would probably say from 0 to 30, it's probably volume, like just getting more appointments and closing more. But then, like, I would say from 10 to 30, whatever, like, I think what starts to become relevant too is obviously retention, like building like MRR, not like taking care of your churn, building your product out. And also I think it just gets more complex, because now you got to look at sales and scaling things up, but also obviously delivering and making your first hires. Like, I think 0 to 10 you don't need any hires, maybe like a VA or something, but over, like, now for me, like, I gotta hire like a setter, and then I want to build a call center, so I gotta have like a CSR for that, and then other things, you gotta manage things so you have more calls to handle. So I think, yeah, I would say like my main takeaways, like from going from like 10 to roughly 30 now, would be just keep doing the volume still. Like, it's relatively similar, but also put effort into your product, because if you just churn and burn and just don't care about the delivery, then I think it's gonna be hard.
100%, bro. And then the final thing I would ask you, you mentioned you've obviously invested in this. You invested in sales coaching. I don't know if you've invested in anything else. One thing that kept me stuck for a while, I know it does for other people, is being afraid to invest in themselves. Are these the only two things you've invested in, or have you invested in other things as well?
Got like a small, like another program, but this was like the only really, like, apart from my sales coaching investment that I made. Yeah.
I'm curious to know, what made you want to make the jump to actually invest in both of those things, more importantly? Because I think a lot of people have this belief around, every program or thing that they see online that they could buy being not worth it, a scam, whatever it may be. Why did you buy it? That's what I'm curious about. Both of them.
I mean, I didn't really hesitate. Like, right now I'm on a stage, like, I don't come from money, I don't have a lot of money. My family doesn't have a lot of money. And I just had like money sitting in the bank. I don't have like, I'm not at a stage right now where I feel like I need to like fancy things or stuff. So I'm not attached to money. Like, I'm attached to building cash flow, like building something that will make me a lot of money in the long run. Like, if I got a goal in mind, for example, to reach 100K a month, then my $5,000 that I got in the bank right now, like, are like shit against that. to be frank. So I would say, like, first of all, when it comes to spending money, I think you got to think like in abundance. Like, you got to think like, okay, like, I'm obviously getting something back. You know, and it's worth, like, depending on what your goals, it's definitely worth investing that money somehow. Then when it comes to like trusting people, like why I bought your program, for example, and I will also probably gonna buy License and Scale, is because because of your brand. I mean, I just trust. I think I followed you I actually knew you from another guy who was named Tarek, like very back in the days. I was in his coaching.
Yeah.
He was just saying, like, because I think he mentioned like you and him, like you were in like Andrew Tate's program, and then he just like every day he said like how crazy you are and stuff like that. And then I looked you up. I just followed your YouTube along, and what I think was inspired. Like, you're obviously my age. Like, we're pretty much the same age, and what you achieved, I think, you know, like you just can't say anything against it. Like, you achieved it and you did it. So I think paying people who already did what you want to achieve is like a no-brainer. Especially, like, you know, considering the price of your program, it's not expensive at all for, you know, what you're getting back, I guess. I mean, if you, even from 0 to 10, like, if you want to make 10K a month, investing like a couple grand into a program, if you have the money, like, do it.
It's a fucking no-brainer, right? It pisses me off when people are like, oh my god, it's expensive. It's like, you pay like 4 or 5 grand to learn how to make 10 grand a month forever, and you keep that skill and it compounds. It like, people just aren't willing to invest in themselves.
Even if it's shit and it's a mistake, like, you lost 3-4 grand, but it, like, even for the like mindset aspect of it, like I said earlier, like, you want to behave like you tell your clients to behave. Like, if you want to sell people on a $5,000 program and invest in you, then you also got to be able to take money and invest in yourself. Like, it's that alone is an ROI. Like, if you just make the commitment and just, no matter where you go, pay somebody a couple grand, even though you don't have a lot of money in your bank account, they will fire you up, and it's just like a mindset type of thing.
It's kind of like the agencies that run ads for their clients but won't run ads for themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? It's kind of like a fat person teaching people how to get fit. It just doesn't make any sense. So 100%, bro. Well, I appreciate you having you on. I'm sure people are going to get a ton of value from this. Have a good day. See you later.
Yes, sir. Bye.